All right, everyone, good morning. I am Councilmember Matt Westmoreland, Chair of the Zoning Committee, and I'd like to call this meeting of our committee to order. I am joined by Councilmembers Faruqi, Dozier, Hillis, Overstreet, and Shook. That constitutes a quorum, and so I will make a motion to adopt the agenda. Second by Dozier. Please open that vote.
The vote is open. Vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays.
6 yeas, 0 nays. The agenda is approved. The agenda is adopted. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting. Second by Shook.
Vote is open. Vote is closed. 6 yeas, 0 nays.
6 yeas, 0 nays. The minutes are approved. Next on the agenda is Section E, which is the 2025 Zoning Committee Goals and Objectives. Colleagues, there is a draft document.
It's in front of everyone.
Give you a moment to look that over, and we'll ask if there are any additions that people would like to make. Motion to approve by Shook, which I will second. Seeing no discussion, please open that vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed.
6 yeas, 0 nays. Item is adopted. Next up is public comment. There are 2 individuals signed up to speak. Each will receive 3 minutes. The first is Will Reichard, followed by Andre James. And we've been joined by Councilmember Mary Norwood.
Good morning, Council. My name is Will Reichard. I am serving as chair of the Graduate Student Senate at Georgia Tech. I'm here today on behalf of the graduate student body to convey some concerns we have about the proposed change in definition of household. As you all know, it's currently defined to allow up to 6 unrelated individuals to live in the same household, and the proposed redefinition would bring that down to 3. We have worries about how that might affect a lot of our student population, specifically in the Home Park neighborhood. I don't have the stats in front of me, but a considerable number of our students live with more than 3 roommates. And in Home Park, sometimes even more than 6 currently. And there's unused duplexes, so that's allowable, I believe. But ultimately, we have concerns about the potential displacement of student residents in and around Georgia Tech, as well as other universities in Atlanta. And we ask that the city council be mindful of that during the rewrites. That's all. Thank you.
Good deal. Appreciate your advocacy. Mr. James.
Hi, good morning, Council. First of all, I want to thank you guys for the work you do in zoning. I'm here on behalf of Grove Park Neighborhood Association. I am the chair of Public Safety and Zoning, and just want to introduce myself first of all. Secondly, just want to say that we'll be attending these meetings and making sure that we are advocating on behalf of the public. We do have a lot of initiatives happening in Grove Park, and so we just want to make sure that we are advocating on behalf of the neighbors that live there, and just making sure that some of the things are done. So again, just want to say thank you for your work, and just want to introduce myself. I'm Andre James. Thank you.
Thanks for coming down. Welcome to the party. Next up is the consent agenda, Section G. Director Holmes, if you will read the captions for our first reads.
Good morning, council members. Item number 1, 25-01091 Z2496, an ordinance by zoning committee to rezone from single-family residential West Side Park Affordable Workforce Housing overlay to residential general sector 3 West Side Park Affordable Workforce Housing overlay for property located at 2125, 2131, 2135, 2139, and 2145 Dunley Hollowell Parkway Northwest. Item number 2, 25-01092 U2447, an ordinance by zoning committee for a special use permit for a personal care home pursuant to section 16060051G for property located at 2489 Fairway Circle Southwest. Item number 3, 25-01093 U2448, an ordinance by zoning committee for a special use permit for a hotel pursuant to section 16340071J for property located at 1050 Howell Mill Road, also known as 1055 Brady Avenue. Item number 4, 25-010-94 Z2501, an ordinance by zoning committee to rezone from light industrial conditional beltline overlay to mixed residential commercial beltline overlay for property located at 1215 and 1313 Sylvan Road and 984 and 985 and 997 Cox Avenue Southwest. And item number 5, 25-010-95 Z2502, an ordinance by zoning committee to rezone from light industrial conditional beltline overlay to industrial mixed use beltline overlay for property located at 1200 White Street Southwest.
Thank you very much. Next up is Section H, ordinances for second reading. Item number 6.
Item number 6, 25-010-48, MRPA 2406, an ordinance by zoning committee to grant a certificate under the provisions of the Metropolitan River Protection Act to allow construction of an addition, deck, and rain garden on property located at 2342 Bernard Road. The request is to hold this item.
I'll make a motion to hold. Second by Hillis.
The vote is open. The vote is closed.
7 yeas, 0 nays. That item is held. Item number 7.
Item number 7, 24-1136, Z2405, an ordinance by zoning committee to rezone from single-family residential to single-family residential for property located at 2036 Phillips Drive South. Staff, ZRB, and MPU recommendation is approval.
Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to approve. Second by Hillis.
The vote is open. The vote is closed.
7 yeas, 0 nays. That item is favorable. Item number 8.
Item 8, 24-010-18, Z2372, an ordinance by zoning committee to rezone from English Avenue Special Public Interest District Sub-Area 1, West Side Affordable Workforce Housing Overlay, to English Avenue Special Public Interest District Sub-Area 4, West Side Affordable Workforce Housing Overlay for property located at 533 Griffin Street. Staff, NPU, and ZRB recommendation is approval conditional, and request is to hold this item.
Any discussion? I'll make a motion to hold. Second by Hillis.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 7 yeas, 0 nays.
7 yeas, 0 nays. That item is held. Item numbers 9, 12, and 13 can be taken as a block.
Item number 9, 24-016-79, a substitute ordinance by zoning committee to amend 24-012-51, adopted by the Atlanta City Council on October 7, 2024, and approved as per city charter, Section 2403 on October 16, 2024, granting a special use permit transferring 215,858 square feet of residential floor area from 875 West Peachtree Street, the sending property, to property located at 1557th Street Northwest, the receiving property, for the purpose of clarifying the square footage and the receiving property and for other purposes. Item number 12 is the 24-016-41, Z2475, an ordinance by zoning committee to rezone from multifamily residential conditional to multifamily residential conditional for a change of conditions for property located at 568 Traybert Avenue Northwest. Staff, NPU, and ZRB recommendation is approval conditional. Item number 13, 24-016-44, Z2478, an ordinance by zoning committee to rezone from single-family residential to planned development housing for property located at 2439 Fairburn Road Southwest. Staff and ZRB recommendation is approval conditional. MP recommendation is approval. And item number 13, Z24-016-44, 6 Z2478. I'm sorry. That was all of the items. I'm sorry.
Okay, I will make a motion to amend to attach the ZRB recommended conditions for items 9, 12, and 13. Second by Shook.
This is a motion to amend.
So it is.
One moment. Bear with us for one moment.
It's okay. Take a voice vote if you want to.
We could go with a voice vote.
Councilmember Frokie, Dozier, Shook, Norwood, Hillis, Overstreet, Westmoreland is an aye as well. 7 yeas, 0 nays. Those items are amended. I'll now make a motion to approve as amended. Second by Dozier. Mr. Frokie, Dozier, Shook, Norwood, Hillis, Overstreet, Westmoreland is an aye as well.
7 yeas, 0 nays. The item is adopted as, or approved as amended.
9, 12, and 13. On to item number 10.
Item number 24-016-19, Z2492, an ordinance by Councilmember Amir Faroki to amend the 1982 Atlanta zoning ordinance as amended by amending Chapter 1618A Downtown Special Public Interest District regulations to amend the permitted uses in Sub-Area 7, Fairly Popular, to permit sales and leasing agencies for new and used cars and motorcycles as a permissible use, to require that the location of such uses be limited to multi-story buildings with accessory parking located in existing parking decks and for other purposes. NPU staff and GRB recommendation is approval.
I will make a motion to amend Section 2 to include the conditions in our packet. Second by Faroki.
And we'll continue to do voice votes.
Okay. Dozier, Shook, Norwood, Hillis, Overstreet, Westmoreland is an aye as well. 7 yeas, 0 nays to amend. I'll now make a motion to approve as amended. Second by Dozier, Faroki, Dozier, Shook, Norwood, Hillis, Overstreet, Westmoreland is an aye as well. 7 yeas, 0 nays. Item number 10 is approved as amended. Item number 11.
Item 11, 24-016-38, Z2465, an ordinance by zoning committee to rezone from single-family residential to multifamily residential for property located at 3520 North Camp Creek Parkway Southwest. Staff, NPU, and ZRB recommendation is approval conditional, and the request is to hold this item.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to hold. Second by Dozier, Faroki, Shook, Norwood, Hillis, Overstreet. 7 yeas, 0 nays. Item 11 is held. Item number 14.
Item 14, 24-011-40, Z2409, an ordinance by zoning committee to rezone from light industrial conditional beltline overlay to mixed residential commercial beltline overlay for property located at 934-972 Avon Avenue and 1244 Higgins Street Southwest. Staff and ZRB recommendation is denial. MP recommendation is approval. Request is to hold this item.
Yes, I'll make a motion to hold. Second by Shook. Mr. Brokey, Mr. Dozier, Ms. Norwood, Mr. Hillis, Ms. Overstreet. 7 yeas, 0 nays. Item 14 is held. Item number 15.
Item 15, 24-016-40, Z2473, an ordinance by zoning committee to rezone from single-family residential to two-family residential for property located at 582 Hope Street Southwest. Staff and ZRB recommendation is denial. MP recommendation is approval.
Colleagues, I spoke with the council member for District 12 about this item, and after that conversation, I'm going to make a motion to approve. Second by Shook. Mr. Peroki, Mr. Dozier, Mr. Hillis. Oops,
We can
Ms. Norwood.
actually take this,
Sorry?
we can use the machine
Okay,
system again.
back into the 21st century. Is it Overstreet?
Would all members please vote?
Norwood. The screen's back on.
Vote is closed. 7 yeas, 0 nays.
7 yeas, 0 nays. That item is favorable. Items 16, 17, and 18, without objection, can be taken as a block.
Item number 16, 25-010-57, an ordinance by Councilmember Alex Wan to zone property located at 2231 Goodwin Avenue Southeast, Atlanta, Georgia, 30316 to the low-density mixed-use zoning district and for other purposes. Item number 17, 25-010-61, an ordinance by Councilmember Alex Wan to zone certain parcels located in the Brighton Village subdivision to the multifamily residential zoning district and for other purposes. And item number 18, 25-01063, an ordinance by council members Dustin Hillis, Jason Dozier, Matt Westmoreland, Jason Winston, Liliana Bakhtiari, Michael Julian Bond, Ishay Collins, Amir Faroki, Byron Amos, Alex Vaughn, Mary Norwood, Andrea O. Boone, and Marcy Collier Overstreet, amending the zoning ordinance of the city of Atlanta to require special use permits for data centers, to provide certain special use permit application requirements to address the proposed data centers' water consumption, water conservation, energy consumption, and other environmental considerations, and for other purposes.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to refer to ZRB. Second by Hillis.
Vote is open. And the vote is closed.
7 yeas, 0 nays, those items are referred. That brings us to the end of our legislative agenda. One quick note before we adjourn. The first public comment that we had today was about an item that will eventually come before us, but isn't currently before us, which is why you were able to speak to it. State law states that once a piece of legislation has been introduced and goes to the zoning review board, we can't take public comment on it here. So I just wanted that to be for the record as we move forward, because at some point, something will come before us. Any other topics? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir.